The next stage we have is the infamous stage 29, red, fraught, and blue. So this one's mechanically quite tricky, mechanically the most involved probably. This is very similar to a solo extreme fight, but overall it's not that bad. If you know what's going on, if you respect mechanics, take your time, stay calm, totally fine. So I'm just gonna hit start, but the spells that we want are Sonic Boom, and we're going to use that for the fire phase. And then we have Electrogenesis for the lightning phase. Now, we also have pretty much everything else that we need. We will need Diamondback, we will need Flying Sardine, and we will need Exuviation. And you'll see why when we actually get in here. So if you've done these sort of Pepsi Man fights, as with a lot of the other fights in Carnivale, you've seen things already. Here we have a fluid swing, so we're going to interrupt that. That's just a knockback, and it slaps us into the lightning, but we want to avoid that where possible. Here's Sea of Flames. This is Ifrit's Eruption. You can see there's one, there's two. We always want to keep him on the edge where possible, and you'll see why later. So here's Pyretic. For this, we just stop. We don't want to do anything. If we move and take any actions, we'll take damage. But as soon as the debuff wears off, we move because he casts fire on us. Here's Pillar of Flame. This is basically Ifrit's Radiant Plume. So it's out first, then in. Here's Rush. This deals less damage the further we are from him. And that's why we always want him at an edge, so we can minimize that damage. Here's Flare Star. This is just a proximity hit, so just be at the edge again. It's going to spawn these fire tornadoes. These will shoot line AoEs at me, and we just dodge them. Here's another fluid swing, so we'll interrupt that. Keep ourselves topped off here. Here's Pillar of Flame with those AoEs. And then we're in. You can see it gets pretty tight. So ideally, oh, here we actually have our rush. Going to wait for those AoEs to go off. Move over here. You can see that one hit pretty hard because I was still pretty close. Going to move back here though to show. So here, oh, actually, I'm going to show that you can fail this and be fine if you just take one hit. So we can see the safe spots over there. Here it did about 6k damage, and I have 8k health. Here's another fluid swing, so we'll interrupt that. But I'll show the proper baiting for the fire tornadoes if we get to that phase again. Essentially what we want to do is be away from the safe spot, bait, and then move into the safe spot. We probably will see another set because I'm only using Sonic Boom here, so it's pretty slow. Sonic Boom and Song of Torment, rather. But here we got Pyretic, so we stop. Debuff wears off, we move. Here's Pillar of Flame. We're out. And we're in. There's another rush. So we're going to move out here. And I'm actually going to stop my damage here just so I can show those tornadoes again. Here we have Flare Star. It's going to spawn those tornadoes. We're going to go to the safe side. And I want to stay on the side, basically. Here's a fluid swing. We'll interrupt. We're going to stay right here. On the side. You can see tornado bait, Pillar of Flame, and then we step in. We want to keep him at the edge, though, because, once again, he does a rush. So on both of these acts, we always want to be keeping an eye on our enemy list to make sure that we can interrupt any casts. Fluid Swing can really mess us up. And that's consistent in the second stage too. So here, Song of Torment, but now we're going to be using Electrogenesis instead of Sonic Boom. Here we have Protean Wave. We're going to move away from that telegraphed Protean Wave, but we can't avoid that second one. The first one we want to avoid. So here he puts Throttle on us. If that debuff ticks down, we die. So that's why we have Exuviation. I'm going to cleanse that. Here's Ferrofluid. This is Opposites Attract, so we're going to get far away. You can see he pulls us in and stuns us, and then does a small AoE around himself. Fluid Ball. We'll be seeing this mechanic in the next stage as well, but here's an AoE. And it just follows us a little bit. It's going to be a little bit trickier in the next one. Watery Grasp. When we see this, we're going to bristle up. And we're going to kill these hands ASAP. So these hands, one of them will do a knockback, and one of them will delete my mana. Remember to keep watching his cast bar, though. See, I'm going to do a swift cast. Oop. Fluid swing, so we're going to interrupt that. And we're going to kill the hand. That is the hardest part of this fight. You do not want to get hit by those. They delete your mana. One of them deletes your mana. When he does Big Splash, we're going to cast Diamondback. You can see each one of those did 500 through Diamondback, which means it would do 5,000. So that's 20,000 damage. Here's Cascade. This is going to be like the Flare Star from the first stage. You can see there's tornadoes here. We're going to move down to this side. Oh, I missed a Fluid Swing. So you can see how dangerous that is. But as with before, it's not just straight up lethal. Here's a Protean Wave. We're going to move. And that second one hits us. You can see we've got the tornadoes shooting us again. And here we've got Fluid Ball. So this is Circle AoE, followed by Circle AoE. And these tornadoes explode with proximity, and that's why we stay down here. There's Throttle again. So there's Exuviation. And then another Fluid Swing, so we'll interrupt. You can see it really just doesn't stop coming with this guy. Here's Opposites Attract again, so we're going to move out. And Protean Wave. Remember, get away from the front. And then we get hit by the second one. There's a Fluid Swing, so we'll interrupt. Fluid Ball. This is AoE into AoE. There's one AoE. There's a second AoE. There's Big Splash. Remember? For this, we're going to Diamondback. Just heal myself up a little bit first. 2, 3, 4. Here's Cascade. That's when he spawns those tornadoes. A little bit of a different pattern this time. Got a Fluid Swing. We're going to interrupt that. There's a Protean Wave. Get out of the front. And there we go, stage 29. Obviously, if you have more powerful spells, that will go a lot faster and will be less stressful. Something like Shock Strike is amazingly helpful for those hands. If you use Bristle and Electrogenesis followed by a Shock Strike, you can kill one of the hands as soon as it spawns. And then, just work on killing the other one. You can bring Reflux to slow the hands if they are tripping you up. But again, we're just showing sort of bare minimum stuff here. So that's it for 29.